So unfortunately, kids were around, so I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I couldn't trade my own poop. Like, yeah, whose is bigger now? So I'm from Nigeria. I've never seen a lion before, and to some people that's crazy, right? It's it's not everywhere that's Kenya. Today we're gonna take a little trip to the wild side. Yep, I'm talking about the Houston Zoo. I heard that Houston Zoo is the most visited zoo in the country, and I had to just check it out. See it with my own two eyes what all the hype is about. Apparently it's right behind San Diego, so had to see what's up. We decided to pull up, went with a couple of my friends, and we got the tickets online. Apparently, I think that's the only way you could get the tickets nowadays. And we drove there, in one big SUV truck, and we're trying to find a parking spot. It took us forever. I mean, dude, we had to turn around and come back, and turn around and come back 3 times. And luckily for us, we saw a beautiful family just scooting out, and yeah, we took that spot. So but word of advice: if you're visiting the second most visited zoo, is that right? If you're visiting the second, if you're going to the second most visited zoo in the country on a Saturday, try to get there early in the morning, cause with the Houston summer weather, you never know. You're gonna be sweating and shit. You're gonna be sweating and shit. Yeah, so we walked inside, and we saw some sea lions, just playing around the water, swimming, gliding. Felt like some Michael Phelps Olympics, movie. But it was really, really cool. I've never seen a sea lion before, so that was really cool to just the first animal I am seeing is an animal I've never seen before. So that's good thinking right there. So we walked through. There's a tunnel. The tunnel is all glass. Damn, that was awesome. That was cool too. So we walked in through the tunnel, and we saw some of the fish. We saw different kinds of fish, just swimming on the other side. You saw the hammerhead fish. You saw just different kinds of fish with different colors. It was beautiful, just all swimming around. Then you see the sea lions going, because you're in the tunnel, right? And everything is glass all around the tunnel. You see the sea lions swimming up above you, and turning. That was cool. That was really cool though. That was really cool. Then walking out, I saw Timon and his brothers, and I was like, Timon. I didn't get any response. It's kind of hurt like that. I guess typical celebrity behavior or something. I was like, screw it. I'm gonna head over there, and we saw the flamingos. Gosh, they are some of the sassiest, animals I've ever seen. So we head over there to see the flamingos, right? And to give you a little metaphor around what the flamingos is kind of like, they're like a 10 over 10 girl who knows she's 10, and that's a flamingo right there. That's how they act. Just, with one leg up, with some style, and just slow, doing their own thing. They're like, oh, we could walk into the water, do whatever we want, we could come back. Then one particular flamingo had his legs high up, so high up, I didn't even think it had an extra leg there. So then we headed over, we saw the lemurs. We saw my guy, King Julian, if you know what I mean. But he didn't really, I didn't really get the king vibes from him. I got more a fun energy around. Maybe fun, uncle-ish energy playing around King Julian and his friends. And I liked it. I liked seeing the animals, just running here, stopping and running. Loki made me want to get it as a pet. Not gonna lie. I was looking around the fences, and I was like, the fences are not that high. If these animals really wanted to get out, they could for sure. You know, like if they really wanted to. I was kind of like amazed by how like, you know, like low the fences were. But you know, I guess the animals kind of like they enjoy being there. So I don't know, maybe that's why they haven't really even tried like that. So we were walking over to see the biggest land animal, and you already know. And their space was pretty massive. You know, I was impressed with that too. The animals want to run a mile; they could run a mile all around. It was a pretty big space. So something crazy happened. Two plots on each side. And I was walking through, and I was watching the elephant on my left, and I was like just trying to like understand and like, you know, observe, you know, like this elephant, you know, like what's it doing, walking around, you know, doing stuff. Then the elephant on my right came so close, given their fences around, yeah, but came so close, then turned around and dropped some of the biggest, massive shit I've ever seen in my life. And if you know me, you know I can't let that disrespect slide like that. I got to do something about that. So unfortunately, kids were around, so I couldn't do what I wanted to do. I couldn't shade my own poop. You know, like yeah, whose is bigger now? But yeah, I had to take that L. I had to take that L home with me. So, fun fact: Houston Zoo apparently is one of the few zoos in the country to have a bachelor pad for elephants. Now, apparently, adult male elephant love to live in the bachelor pad with other males. What's happening here? And I paused for a sec and turned and looked at my girl and turned back. And you know what? I could understand. I could understand for sure. You know. And no wonder that disrespect came from that side. It could have been his own form of play. Then I thought to myself, if there are no women on earth, would that mean men will be playing with their poop? I could see that. I could definitely see that. Tag, you're it. I guess the ladies that keep us in check, right? They're more mature for sure. That is for sure. But yeah. So, of course, we went along. We had to see the big cats, you know, which is kind of what we came for. You know, see Mufasa. And walking around, you see the tiger first. And tiger was asleep, just laying there. Damn. Why do you have to dull my morale like that? Then a little step further, we saw Mufasa with his 3 baby mamas, and he was asleep, just laying there. They were high up in like a mountain rock like that, and just laying there. I'm like, I need to see some movement. You gotta do something. And Mufasa was asleep. You know, no, Tigress was asleep. They're all just laying there. I wouldn't say asleep, but just laying there, you know, so. Yeah. I mean, so far the spaces are incredible for all of them, but I feel like maybe just for the cats only, a bigger space would have been pretty good. I'd have loved to have like a bigger space for like the cats. But so far, like the way they got the ecological biography or background for each of the animals was incredible, man, at the Houston Zoo. You know, I was amazed by how they got like those it looks so you gotta check it out. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You know, then a little bit more we saw some of the gorillas, and I was like, wow, that thing is muscular. You know, I thought I had muscles myself, but you know, shit. Those gorillas, man, they're shit. But still, though, I don't think they could take 100 of me for sure. You know, 100 of me with some of my boxing experience for sure. They're not gonna come close. But they look strong as hell. And you imagine they get all these muscles just from eating like grass. That is like wow. Well, I'm gonna turn vegetarian when I'm 40 for sure. Not right now, but for sure. I still like meat right now. Pause. Wait, hold on. What did I just say? Anyway, yeah, we saw the gorillas, the silverback, muscular, the most muscular like animal probably in that whole zoo. So you know, I couldn't get I couldn't get too close. I was staying from afar, but you know, you don't piss it off. You know, you could just break wherever it's going. You know, you're like ah, but it's probably safe. It's probably safe. I'm just talking. It was cool. It was cool. You see it walking. The gorillas were active at least, and the gorillas with the monkeys around it, it had all the space it needed. I think that was one of the best environment for those gorillas and monkeys. I was impressed. I was actually, you know what? Then a little bit more walk. We saw the eagles. I was kind of like, the eagles, why aren't they flying out? You know, because they're just, nothing is tied to them. You know, they're just there on the tree. So, you know, I was looking online and apparently it's possible for you to like, you know, clip the wings. So maybe that's why they couldn't fly out. Or maybe they're just trained in a way. Couldn't really tell. But, you know, I turned to my brother and I was like, welcome to the United States, my brother. Welcome to the United States. And, you know, we do like, welcome to the United States. The eagles were good. Yeah, it was really good. And it was majestic. The eagles were majestic. You just, God, maybe I should have that one as a pet instead of King Julian. But when I want them to fly out and fly back, you know, fly out and fly back in. I don't know if you can train them to do that. Anyway, then we saw the giraffes too. The giraffes, they walk slow, tall, elegant. It was nice. You know, it was nice. You know, I've never seen a giraffe like live before. You know, so seeing that too, just walking up close, you know, slow, elegant, neck held up high, you know, like, what, you want to mess, don't mess with me, don't mess with me, you know, just walking. And apparently you can feed them if you pay extra. So, but I didn't really see anybody feeding though, so that's what I just heard later. You can like pay and you can feed them. But yeah, if you could do it, for sure, give it a shot, man, because they're really, really cool. But yeah, there's like so much more to see. We went there pretty late, so we went there like around like 2 p.m. ish, you know, and they closed like around 5, I think, 5 p.m. So, you know, we couldn't see all they had to offer. Like 6,000 like animals. That is a lot, you know. But yeah, there is a ton more. You know, there's a ton more that you probably will have to like see. You know, maybe the snakes, the python. Maybe they will have been slow too. I don't know if they will have been moving. And yeah, walking out on the way out, we saw a queue around like that 5 p.m. ish. I'm like, why do we have a queue here? Shouldn't they be closing? So apparently it seems like this one is the afters. You pay more to get the afters. And I guess you can't see them when they're like feeding the animals. You know, so I was like, oh damn, I'd have loved to see the animals getting fed. You know, that would have been pretty cool to see. But I guess, you know, I didn't really know too much about that. So I didn't really pay that extra for that to come late and, you know, come later. But yeah, the Houston Zoo is a solid 10 over 10 from me. You gotta like check it out. I wonder what San Diego even has more. Maybe more spacing, I'm not sure, you know, for it to be the number one. But yeah, the Houston Zoo, you can see why it is the second most visited zoo in the country. And yeah, I was impressed. Yeah. And I'm gonna be talking and posting a lot more here. You're just gonna be seeing what's happening, some of the fun spots in Houston, and I'll give you my honest takes. from an outside looking inside. And you know, trust me, I'll give you the right stuff. So just subscribe, hit the subscription button, and you get some of the good stuff. I'll give you the good stuff.